In this video, I will present the magic equations that go with projectile motion. I don't particularly like to present these, but I have found that if I do not present them, what happens is someone will Google projectile motion, find these equations, and then use them in a wrong way. This is actually why I call them magic equations, because people will go onto Google, or actually they're all in the book too. They'll find these magic equations that look really complicated, so they must always give the right answer. So without having any idea of what's going on, people will try to use these to get the right answer in any situation. None of these equations is true in general for projectile motion. Okay? They only work if the initial and final heights are the same. That's the key. So you may want to include these on your cheat sheets. I'm not going to go through the derivation of why they are true. It takes about 3 pages to prove this one. You start here and end up over here, and then finally you can get this by using a trigonometric identity. So it's complicated math to get there. That's why sometimes it would be handy to have these available. But again, don't forget when you can use them and when you cannot. If you start up here and end at a lower point, if you start low and end high, they're not valid. If you have air resistance, they're not valid. So these are true only for projectile motion, no air resistance, if initial and final heights are the same. And what do these things mean? This t is time of flight. The time of flight is the time that the object is in the air, from the start to the end. The next equation is for the range. So the range means how far did the projectile go? Total horizontal distance. That's the range. And this delta y max is the maximum height from the position where it started until it gets to the top of its flight. Theta for all of these is the initial angle that it was fired at. V naught is the initial velocity. That's not in x or y direction. That's the total magnitude of the initial velocity. G is gravity. Notice in these it has g, it does not have a minus g, so this g is 9.8 positive meters per second squared.